I think we are audible. Hi everyone. Hi Sargam. A very warm
Hi,
welcome to you. Hello.
thank you so much.
I'll just quickly check. Has everyone joined in? Okay. Everyone, everyone who has joined from Facebook, please type FB, and everyone who has joined us from YouTube link, YouTube Live, please type in YT here. I just want to check that we are live. Guys, everyone, please comment YouTube YT if you've joined from YouTube and comment FB if you've joined from Facebook. One second, Sargam.
Sure, please take it.
Okay. Okay, great. I've got lots of comments from people now. Let's get started. So, first and foremost, thank you everyone for taking out time on a busy Friday evening for this session and joining us here at Slurpin. And this session is brought to you guys by Lupin Activate Syrup. And before I get into that, I would like to give a very, very warm welcome to Sargam. She's a very reputed nutritionist. She has done her MSc in Diet and Food Service Management, and she also holds a postgraduate degree in nutrition. So, guys, she specializes in making everyday meals not just healthier but also sustainable. Because eating should become a healthy eating should become a lifestyle rather than just a restriction or a one-time thing. So she really believes in that fact, and that's the way she treats all her clients. And she has expertise in gluten-free, dairy-free, and vegetarian diets. So, guys, if you're interested, if you are seeking solutions for that, please do contact her. Her philosophy is simple: food should be cooked right, enjoyed fully, and tailored to truly nourish you. So, a very, very warm welcome, Sargam. We are very lucky to have you here. Please, over to you.
Thank you so much, Nitya. Thanks a lot. And thank you, viewers, for being here, as Nitya said, on a Friday evening. And thanks for the lovely introduction. This is Sargam Gupta, a nutritionist with over a decade of experience helping families eat right and nutrient dense food. My focus is to make nutrition doable for parents by making kid-friendly recipes that are easy to make, and recipes that are also nutrient dense. And in fact, today I have two very easy and simple recipes, which I shall make it right in front of you the way I would actually make. So one portion is already ready, and one portion I would let you know whenever everybody is ready. So Nitya, let me know when you would want me to take that, and before that, if you really want me to speak a little bit of why protein is important, especially for kids. So whether you want this after this or before that, just let me
Let's
know,
first
and I
start
should
with that.
take that.
Let's first start with how why what protein plays a role. Let's definitely start with that.
Great. So as Nitya had told me, so this is specifically for protein because nowadays it's kids who we really have to wonder that what is it that we feed kids. And most of the questions and most of the queries that are coming in, that the kids, what is it that I give kids to eat? And so first of all, to understand what is protein, protein is very important for our body, and protein is required for our muscle building, for our tissue growth. Protein is required for energy, focus, and especially when kids who are school going, they really need protein. So basically, proteins are the building blocks of our body, and hence very, very important. Then there are certain myths also about proteins where people there are questions where mothers would ask often that how much protein is it really good for kids? More of protein become too much of protein, and how is it? In what way do we give protein? And is it just in one meal? So the myth is that actually our kids are never their body is never in abundance of protein. The real thing is they would always be short of protein. And to ideally to see protein is per kg. It's for every weight, every per kg of weight. We need to understand. We need to allocate 1 point of protein is enough for that one particular body weight, 1 kilo of body weight. So if your child is 20 kilos of weight, so somewhere around 25 to 30 is the recommended dietary allowance of protein in a day. And
Okay.
so that was it, that never too much of protein, so because kids are always in need of protein. Second thing is, the best way for protein to be absorbed in the body and for kids to really have protein is to give them throughout the day. अगर हम सोच रहे हैं कि एक मील में हमें हम सिर्फ पनीर डाल देते हैं और पूरी दाल डाल देते हैं, मेरे बच्चे ने पूरे दिन खाया नहीं है लेकिन इस मील में मैं सब कुछ डाल देती हूँ, that's not the right way for the kid to really absorb protein. It's throughout the day. मॉर्निंग, इवनिंग, सुबह आपने मिल्क दे दिया, दोपहर में आपने कुछ स्नैक के साथ पहले 11 बजे कुछ दे दिया, फिर खाने में आपने दाल एंड सब्जी रोटी, एंड देन रात को you've given paneer, then you've given rest other protein, maybe tofu or legumes or whatever the sources that you are thinking is apt for it. And the best way for protein is to mix animal protein and plant protein. It's really absorbed well, because कुछ proteins होते हैं जो हमारी body बनाती हैं, which is, and कुछ proteins होते हैं जो हमारी body नहीं बनाती हैं. So that's how the
Hmm.
essential and non-essential proteins.
Okay, okay, okay. That's great. That's great. Um, and what are the main essential source of protein a vegetarian people can go for? Because they say dal is not a very good source of protein actually.
तो दूसरी चीज ये है, एक्चुअल में हम प्रोटीन अगर सोचते हैं, हम हमेशा सोचते हैं दाल दे
Hmm.
दिया, चावल दे दिया,
Hmm.
वो प्रोटीन हो गया. द राइट
Correct.
कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ फूड, नित्या, द राइट कॉम्बिनेशन
Correct.
ऑफ फूड इज सो मच इम्पोर्टेंट. दैट इज वाई जो सदियों से कुछ चीजें चलती आ रही हैं, फॉर एन एग्जाम्पल, हमारे जो मील्स होते हैं, आंगनवाड़ी मील्स होते हैं, दैट इज दे गिव खिचड़ी,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
खिचड़ी
Hmm.
is because all the amino acids are added into it. जब दाल और चावल को मिक्स आप करते हो, then you get good quality protein. अगर यहाँ पे
Correct.
वेजिटेरियंस ज्यादा लोग हैं जी, तो वेजिटेरियंस, then you have all the legumes, you have all the dals, you have all the nuts and seeds, you have all the plants origin based. आपके राजमा हो गए, राजगिरा हो गया, किनवा हो गया, आपकी चिया सीड्स हो गए, आपके so all these are protein. Soya protein, you have nuggets, soya nuggets, and these all will be considered as plants protein.
Okay. 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 That's great. That's great. Why don't you go now? Let's go to the recipe session now. That would be great.
Wonderful. ठीक है. So today the first recipe that I would be really letting all of you know is of so the only difference is everything is done, everything is ready. In fact मैं ऐसे बनाऊंगी जैसे कि आपको लगेगा बस गैस नहीं है. Rest everything is fine. Maybe by the next thing we'll even have gas on the dining table here. So yeah,
No worries. No
I will have
worries.
to, yeah. So this is something that I'm going to make, and this is this looks like a chila, or this looks, but this has no batter at all. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place, let's just think that this is over a gas stove and this is my tawa.
Hmm.
So how am I going to place it? So what I'm going to do is, गैस ऑन है आपकी, आप बस सोचिए कि गैस आपकी ऑन है,
Hmm.
एंड
Hmm.
ये
Hmm.
हमारा पनीर है। मैंने पनीर को इसमें डाला
Okay.
एंड आई स्प्रेड इट, या इसके
Why
पहले
don't
आई
you
यूज्ड
tell us,
घी।
सरगम, फर्स्ट की रेसिपी का नाम क्या है? हम क्या बनाने वाले हैं आज?
परफेक्ट, रेसिपी का नाम है पनीर पैनकेक्स।
Oh, yummy. That sounds
Yeah,
great.
so it's called paneer pancakes, and this is completely without batter. So as you see, ये मैंने
Hmm.
इसमें पनीर का पूरा एक लेयर डाल दिया है, राइट?
Okay. Okay.
या, and when there is ghee in it, it will start cooking up. Now,
Okay.
specifically, this is also for adults, but specifically, if we are talking about kids now, so what we
Hmm.
are going to do is we are going to put in cheese. It can be
Okay.
Parmesan cheese. Parmesan cheese are really good. Any cheese that you make,
Okay.
if your kids like Gouda cheese, या तो आपके बच्चों को जो भी चीज पसंद है, आप उसको ग्रेट कर लीजिए और इसके ऊपर ऐसे डाल दीजिए, राइट?
Okay.
और
Okay.
आप इसको और आप इसको और गोल कर सकते हो, ऐसे पूरा और गोल कर सकते हो। और यहाँ पे आपने
Okay.
घी डाला हुआ है, जो भी बटर या तो आपके बच्चों को पसंद है, आप ये कर सकते हो ना। आफ्टर दिस मैंने क्या किए, मैंने फ्लेक्स बनाए ऑफ कैरेट, विच इज वेरी इजी।
Okay.
द फ्लेक्स ऑफ
Okay.
कैरेट, ये थिन वाले, या आई एम
Uh-huh.
प्लेसिंग देम लाइक दिस, या so these are very thin. I place them. So kids को क्या लगता है ना, जब भी आप कोई बोरिंग चीज जैसे दे दो ना,
Hmm.
सब्जी दाल
Hmm.
रोटी, they will not want to eat. But
Correct.
anything interesting that you try to make ना,
Yes.
इसमें मैंने कैप्सिकम डाल दिया। I have really cut them into thin slices, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And इसके ऊपर a little bit of more cottage cheese or paneer.
Okay.
I've put pepper. If your kid can eat, or for yourself, you can use a little bit of garnish of chili flakes, salt,
Okay.
and here I'm using some nice healthy dressing.
Okay.
Yeah, जो
Okay.
आपके बच्चे को पसंद है थोड़ा बहुत, you can put in. Now I'm also putting a little bit of sauce.
Mm-hmm.
तो ये क्या है ना, धीरे धीरे इट्स गेटिंग सेकोफाइड नीचे, और जब ये सिक
Correct.
जाता है, इसको हम बाद में, सो इट्स एग्जैक्टली लाइक दिस, यहां से ऐसे करके we'll scrape them off.
Okay.
When we scrape it, it becomes like a pancake, और इसको मैंने ऐसे फोल्ड कर दिया है,
Okay. Oh, okay.
एंड नाउ दिस इज योर डन थिंग। बिल्कुल ऐसे बन जाता है ये, एग्जैक्टली लाइक दिस हियर।
Oh, nice. And because
या,
वो पनीर है, बटर है, चीज है, kids are
एग्जैक्टली,
gonna
या,
love it.
बटर भी थोड़े, या, एंड दिस इज योर थिंग, इसके अंदर पता भी नहीं चलेगा, मतलब इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग टेस्ट ऑफ कैरेट भी नहीं आएगा, बट दिस पनीर ऑल्सो, दिस चीज, एज फार एज आई नो किड्स रियली लव चीज अ लॉट, लेकिन आपने उसमें
Yeah.
पनीर भी डाल दिया है। पीपल हु लाइक, किड्स हु लाइक पनीर, टोफू पनीर, राइट,
Correct.
वन वे।
Correct.
तो अब इसको हम
I.
we will just,
Nice.
so this is one thing of exactly how
We.
it has to be done. अगर इसमें गैस ऑन होती तो ये बिल्कुल ऐसे ही पक
Right.
जाता, जो मैंने आपको दिखाया। 5 मिनट्स आपको गैस के ऊपर रखना है, उसके बाद आप इसको थोड़ा पलट पाओगे, एंड जब पलट दोगे, when you will पलटोफाई it, an omelette, actually it looks like an omelette then, हालांकि this is not an omelette.
Correct. Correct. करेक्ट करेक्ट
So
एंड
yeah,
हमें क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं जैसे कि देयर आर डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ चीज बट देयर आर लॉट ऑफ प्रोसेस्ड चीज इन द मार्केट तो अगर नेचुरल
correct,
चीज
yeah.
लेना है तो कौन सा चीज इज बेटर चीज में नेचुरल चीज
So
में
see,
विच इज बेटर
So actually there are a lot of processed cheese. हम parmesan cheese ले सकते
Mm,
हैं. We can take Gouda cheese
mm,
also. We can take, and nothing
mm,
like अगर आप plant based cheese जैसे cashew. So I'll give one जल्दी से एक recipe about a cheese that
mm,
can be, which is like a cheese dip, where you can take cashews, you can take shimla mirch, you can take a little bit of pesto for that taste, and
mm.
salt and pepper, and mix it. Let cashew nuts be dipped, and it brings out a very nice texture, and it is like a cheese dip, actually cheesy
Oh,
dip. You can
nice.
also
Yeah.
add in certain paneer cubes in it, and it gives out an
Mm-hmm.
amazing taste. So that is something which kids can have. You can always tell them that this is cheesy dip because it's so healthy, it's not even junk.
Correct.
And
Correct.
apart from the other cheese, yeah, you have all these. So when you go to a market, basically rest of them are actually all are processed cheese. So try
Mm,
if different brands हैं जो आप देख लीजिए. That is, I would like to say, जो brands that you really can really trust, and maybe from those brands. Otherwise, the ones which are like really made, and which are not packaged or anything, that
mm,
craft cheese is also very good. And these but blue, only the thing is certain cheese becomes really expensive when we go out. So
yeah.
unfortunately India mein jab hum pure cheese, the cheese that we go and see,
Mm,
that's really expensive. So maybe from the processed cheese itself, like we have the Laughing Cow, we have
mm.
various other brands also. We can always take cheese from there. And
Got
ideally,
it.
I will want to say that please make your cheese dips here at home itself. And there are many more
Mm.
dips like this which you can make.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So can we go to the second one now?
Sure, sure, sure. Before that, there was a
Yeah.
question by Innovative Means उन्होंने पूछा था, what are the most important nutrients for a growing child? And what are the things we should really take care for a growing child?
So one thing you have to there is not one stop that will give you everything. It has to be carbs, it has to be
Correct.
protein, it has to be fat, it has to be minerals, it has even the most minutest form of milk, everything together. क्योंकि जो खाना होता है ना,
Correct. Mm.
especially for kids, तो definitely. And I'm sure this must be asking for themselves. Nowadays, you know what we've started doing? We've started
Mm.
eliminating a lot of things. We've started saying, "हम carb नहीं खाएंगे, हम ये नहीं खाएंगे, हम वो नहीं खाएंगे." But the whole thing is complete nutrition you will
Mm.
get out of that whole plate, where you have everything together.
Mm.
Fats. You need to have your ghee
Correct.
also in the khana. People who don't have ghee, वो
Correct.
दूसरी चीज है. There are different alternatives to it. You need to have your protein. You need to have your seeds. You need to. So it's a complete whole food. That's why it said whole balanced food. When we start taking off,
Mm.
इसमें carb ज़्यादा है, इसमें ये, क्योंकि when you mix everything together and while you're eating, you are taking nutrients from each and every food. So that is the
Correct.
most important thing. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So the next thing that I am going to ये tortilla wrap है,
Mm.
and ये बच्चों को actually में बहुत, it's a whole wheat tortilla wrap, और इसमें it's not a so it's your wish that you want a whole wheat tortilla wrap, or but especially for kids you can make it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this like this
Okay.
into four parts. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. और इसको मैंने यहाँ रख दिया, इसको आप जिसमें भी यूज कर लो, और मैंने यहाँ पर ये वेजीज काट के रखे हैं. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take again ये diced paneer
Mm.
and onion and red capsicum and coriander and cheese. So what I have done, actually mixed everything,
Okay.
red
Okay.
capsicum
Okay.
and everything together. Even ये जो cheese है, these cheese are actually in blocks, and onion and everything here into this. So I mix them together. If you want,
Okay.
you can add a little
Okay.
butter. You can add already
Okay.
with this. You want whatever dips you want to add. Yeah. And what I'm going to do now is
Okay.
I'm going to place it like this. इसके ऊपर
Okay.
या इसमें भी थोड़ी थोड़ी कैरेट गई है और कैप्सिकम एंड
Okay.
इसके बाद I'm going to wrap it like this. Take a little bit of butter or ghee.
Hmm.
These are very quick and simple. And
Correct.
again, think that you put the stove on. The stove is on, and आपने इसको यहाँ रख दिया. A little bit of ghee or a little bit of butter around.
Hmm.
Think the gas is on down. 5 minutes, and
Yeah.
this will toast in so well, and it becomes like this.
Oh, nice. And
Yeah.
it's so
And when your kid is
convenient
going
to
to
eat
eat this,
also. Yeah. Nice
Hanji?
pocket. Nice pocket you have made. Very convenient to eat as well.
Yeah, yeah. और इसमें ना time भी नहीं लगता है. That's why the whole idea is fast, yet good and nutritious. It has all the nutrition in it.
Yes.
मतलब it's
Yes.
just not junk खाना. You've got paneer also, you've got vegetables also, और आप अपने हिसाब से इसमें change करते जाइए जो आपको इसमें डालना है.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
Nice. This is
So it
very
was this easy and it was this fast.
very nice. And the most important thing, guys, खाना खाने के 30 minutes पहले you can give your kids lupin activate syrup का just 1 spoon, and that will not only generate good अच्छी भूख in your kids but also give immunity to your child because वो आयुर्वेदिक ingredients से बना है पूरा आंवला गुडीची and people तो पूरा ये सारी चीजें जो healthy है and safe है for the kids also. So that you should definitely give half an hour before food so that kids are eating healthy food and not junk food. This is
Yeah, that is completely true because one thing मेरे को एक बहुत अच्छी चीज लगी नित्या. I was reading the
hmm,
ingredients in this with that you know it's got giloy and pipli. जो these things अलग से I used to give my kid while she was small because you know what
okay.
happens. There are at times when they don't. There is a phase when they don't have then when they don't feel hungry. So
Correct,
those are the times you don't want to give at that time. So वो अलग अलग करके I used to give, which used to be really a tedious job for a mother to do that. But this
correct,
is
correct.
such an amazing thing, and which is like it's a set formula in one bottle. It's a very
Yes,
amazing thing, and I think especially for a weather like this, something that even increases your, I mean, which is also for good for your immunity. I think that's like really nice.
nice. Yes. Now that we are done with the recipes, I think we have lots of questions from our viewers. So first we have Vedangi Kopte, and she's asking, what is the role of dairy in a child's nutrition and how much is recommended?
What is the role of
Dairy, milk and milk products in a child's
milk? Of
nutrition.
course, these are really rich in. These are one of the animal-based source of protein, and it is really important and for the growth of the child. And these are one of the sources of protein that will really help the child to store in calcium as well in growing stages. So it's really important. So with dairy, if you're talking, most of these are all animal-based protein. So
Correct.
dairy, you mean curds? It can be sweetened yogurt. It can be your milk. It's your milk, and then paneer, and then all the your ghee. Everything that is comprising of animal-based protein.
So, how much is recommended daily?
So again, as I said, please segregate them. One glass of milk, 150 ml of milk. Maybe you can start the kids' day in the morning, and then in the
Hmm.
afternoon you can have, you can have dal, sabzi, roti, chawal, or certain snacks. Because the child, how
Hmm.
old is the child? If the child is really small, it might be difficult for the child to eat that whole portion. So maybe mix it up. Maybe make it a, you know, तहरी kind, put मटर, beans, गाजर. One thing you have to understand, जैसे बच्चा बड़ा होता जाएगा, आप शुरू में जिस तरह की बच्चे की आदत डालोगे खाना खाने की, that's how the child will understand that this is what is the food that I have to eat. You change the form of the food. Just because
Mhm.
child says, I don't want milk, I don't want dal, doesn't mean that the child hates protein. The
Mhm.
onus comes to the mother or the parents to understand कि मैं किस तरह इस चीज को creative करूं. फॉर एन
Correct,
एग्जाम्पल जो आज की हमने रेसिपी देखी उसमें कोई
correct,
बेस नहीं था, उसमें कोई डो नहीं था,
correct,
उसमें बेस
correct,
था तो सिर्फ ऐसे अगर आप दे दोगे सिर्फ लो ये पनीर खा लो एंड लो ये चीज खा लो, मे बी द चाइल्ड बाय द सेकंड डे, सो यू हैव टू बी लिटिल इनोवेटिव, कहाँ मैं क्या कैसे कर सकती हूँ,
correct, correct, correct. That's nice. That's actually true. Then next question is by Vandana. How can parents monitor if their child's growth in nutrition is on track?
Parents monitor.
Their child's growth and nutrition is on track and ensure that their childs are getting enough vitamins and minerals. Apart from the protein,
Yeah,
firstly monitor that their child's growth and nutrition is on track. Okay,
so
and
simple. Yeah,
good,
sorry, yeah.
good, good, good.
Yeah, so it's simple. First thing is not to get very fanatic about it, very stringent about it. You know, if your child is growing well, if again I would like to know what is the age of the child. मान लीजिए child is younger than 5 or 6 years, is younger maybe 2, 3, 4 years old. For sure, you're going for your vaccinations to the doctor. So the doctor is trying to see whether the child is growing fine, कौन से symptoms हैं, क्या हैं, कैसे हैं. So that's completely fine. That's been taken care. आपका child अगर active है, आपका child अगर खेल रहा है, कूद रहा है, सही टाइम पे, it's not that the child is feeling sluggish. There are not clinical symptoms as such. या तो बार बार उसको जुकाम हो रहा है, या तो बार बार the child is falling sick. Then there is something to understand. Maybe something is missing. So,
Okay,
these are all with regard to while you're giving the child the whole food that I spoke to you about, like all
correct.
the whole balanced food, everything together, where again it is, जहाँ पे आपका दूध भी जा रहा है बच्चे को, fruits will give you vitamins, सब्जीज will give you vitamins, will give you minerals, will give you, सब्जीज are not very rich in protein, but there are certain sabzis like the beans ho gaye, matar ho gaye, but however for the rest of the vitamins you will have to give the sabzis. Then dal ho gayi, then various other products like again rajma, quinoa, bajra, ragi. Ragi is one of the most, until unless if it's not for an adult, because if it's for an adult, one has to understand if the adult is having diabetes. But for kids, I feel ragi is one of the most nutritious form because it's got most of the vitamins and minerals in it. It's very good in protein also. So if you can
Okay.
give your child ragi malt, so these are the things that you can supplement with the rest of the foods.
That's amazing. That's actually very helpful. So this kind of answers Sudeshna your question and Vandana your question. Even Dua's kitchen, this you had a similar question, so I hope it's answered. One of the questions Aditya Shrivardkar had asked, high protein cookies अगर हमें घर पे बनाने हैं, could you please suggest a recipe for that? How do we make that so it's kid friendly as well as not very high in sugar, high protein
So if
cookies at home. Huh.
Yeah, but then again, is this for kids or is it for
Kids,
adults?
kids,
It's
kids,
for kids
kids.
only, na? Yeah. So yeah. So high protein, basically, you can use peanuts, which are very good in protein. You can use oats. Again, with oats, you have to understand. Usually, for rest of the food, I will not say has to be organic or you need to know your source. But specifically for oats and for your honey, I would really say that it has to be organic. Because oats are something, there's a lot of pesticides that goes into oats. And so you need to understand कि आप जहाँ से oats ले रहे हो, it is really the steel cut oats and they are really good and pure. And so आप oats ले सकते हो, आप peanuts ले सकते हो, which already has good amount of protein in it. and you can even have slightly roast flax seeds. You can even have sesame seeds. Sesame seeds को भी आप काला और थोड़ा थोड़ा करके, because it's for when the kid is going to eat, it shouldn't be, the taste should not be that very strong. And
Correct.
take almonds. Almonds को भी आप थोड़ा सा roast कर लो, बहुत थोड़ा सा. Take little bit of kaju and just combine them. And the best thing is, either you combine them with dates or you
Hmm.
combine them with gur, whatever you think is easier for you. So gur ko agar
Okay.
aap, if you think gur can be, whatever you think your kid might like. So specifically, if it is dates, then dates is something that you need to de-seed the dates and make them a little, soak them in milk, and then try to make a paste of it. Once you make the paste of it, you bind it because it's easier to bind them together.
Okay. Okay.
तो आप या तो उसको कुकी के फॉर्म में कर दो एंड पुट देम इनटू oven, और या तो आप उसको लड्डू के फॉर्म में कर दो. तो इन
Got
केस
it.
ऑफ लड्डू यू रियली डोंट हैव टू इवन बेक इट.
Correct. 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 And if cookie,
एंड देयर
how for
आर
how
मेनी
long should it be?
सॉरी सॉरी.
No, I was saying if someone has to bake, for how much temperature and for how long should they do?
So ideally, if because the dates are going into it, it has to be maybe for 15 minutes, which you have to again check in 15 minutes, and into and your the
Temperature.
baking temperature will have to be somewhere around 175 to 200.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Again,
That's
that
very
depends on which, if it's a conventional baking or if it's a or oven or it's a different oven. So what I can do, maybe about the recipes, I can always frame the recipes and give the exact, if it is going to be in which baking oven, because there are different kinds of oven nowadays, and I
mm-hmm.
can always put that on a note with
That's
the
great.
exact
That's
temperature and time. But mota mota, this is the kind of a recipe that really works as very high in protein.
yes. And in fact, the laddu recipe you've told, I think it will help many moms and papas here because that's very easy
Yeah,
and आपका baking का भी पूरा effort बच जाता है. So that's actually very good.
yeah. And by any chance, if the even the adults would want to eat, I would
Hmm.
suggest that halim seeds that are there for the adults. This
Hmm.
is not.
हाँ,
These are
अलसी
called
के seeds.
yeah. हाँ जी, हलीम सीड्स जो होते हैं,
Okay.
उनको सोक कर दो आप
Hmm.
in that so maybe you soak 1 teaspoon of those seeds, and then that seed you mix it with, I mean, take the water off and mix it with that whole portion of the laddus. That's also very good
Yes.
for your hair growth.
Oh, nice. I think I will have the nice, nice. Okay. We have one question from Priyanka who's asking, what are the other alternatives for dairy if you are a vegan, which we can give to kids? Good
Okay.
sources of calcium and other dairy-free sources.
Okay, so one thing I would first thing, my question would be that why is it specifically, maybe is the child Jane that you would want the child to go vegan, and how small is the child, the appropriate age of the, if the age of the child. Because personally I feel if the child is of growing age, I think it's always better to give the child, as I said before, a mix of vegetable protein, or I mean animal and plant protein both together.
Correct,
And
correct.
yeah, I would personally not advise the child to go vegan. But however, if it is due to cultural or religion based, yeah, requirement, then the child will have to. Then you will have to give your child, only plant based. So that will be more of, then there are certain. You also have spirulina. You also have, so these are the extra supplements that I'm talking about. Otherwise, these are the legumes. You have the legumes, you have the dals, you have rajgira, you have quinoa, you have, so all these will fall under vegan category, and they are good in protein.
Okay,
And there are these very nutrient dense spirulina which are available in Amazon. You can even
okay.
take that. And yes, so these actually help in supplementing the protein requirements apart from the rest. And yes.
Okay, okay, that's helpful. We have Vanika who's asking, my daughter's
Sorry,
milk.
one more thing.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Nitya. Since if they would want the child to go vegan, now and the curds is actually going to be what
Hmm.
to say, vegan curd. So she
Yeah.
can make curds out of almond milk. She can give the child cashew based
Hmm.
recipes, and they can give the child curds made out of almond, curds made of oats milk. Again, oats has to be from a known source. You need to know it's a good quality oats. And chia seeds will also be of a great help, and
Okay.
flax seeds also. So these are the things which have to be
Included in the diet.
inculcated. However, again, I'm saying if it's a growing child, I would suggest, because then what happens along with protein food, and when the child is going vegan, then there's a lot of scarcity of B12 in the body. Then you'll have to supplement with the rest of the things.
Correct, correct, correct. Okay, okay. We have another question from Sushmita. My son cannot drink hot milk. How can we give him milk other than milkshakes? Can you help? So basically, I'm assuming her son doesn't eat milk drink milk in general. And other than milkshake, what are the other sources in which we can include it in the diet? Milk. She
I'm
wants
sorry, Nitya, you'll have to again.
I will repeat. I'm saying Sushmita is asking, my son doesn't drink milk, hot milk, what or like milk in general. What are the other ways she can include milk in her child's diet without giving it in the form of a milkshake?
Okay, okay. Instead of milk, what can the child have?
No, no, no. Milk के कौन से अलग अलग फॉर्म पी सकते हैं? Because
Alternate of
milkshake नहीं
milk,
देते.
you mean, right?
Milkshake. हाँ, correct. How to include milk in the diet?
Acha, how can she sneak in milk into the diet?
Correct.
There's a little
Correct.
bit of, yeah. Your voice is breaking. I hope I'm clear.
Yeah,
You
yeah, you're
mean to
clear.
say that there is how can the child have milk, because the child doesn't like having milk?
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Okay, so a lot of kids don't like milk, so maybe you can again sneak it into while making pancakes. आप pancakes में पानी डालते हो, right? तो आप pancakes में milk डाल दो. Again, जैसे pancakes में जब हम whenever instead of using water, you can use milk. Then whenever you're making pasta, I'm sure the kid must be liking pasta. So make the
Yeah.
sauce with milk and oats, or maybe make the sauce with the sauce that I mentioned.
Correct.
That's actually a go-free sauce for anything that kids would like, because it also has cashews. It also has other, the protein and calcium from the
Correct.
nuts also. So maybe soak
Correct.
the nuts for a little while, and then yeah, to really give that really good taste and that nice flavor to it, you can use red onions or green, not onions, red bell peppers, shimla mirch या लाल green
Hmm.
shimla mirch. उसको थोड़ा सा आप गैस पे रोस्ट कर लो, एंड देन भीगे हुए काजू को निकाल के,
Hmm.
एंड उसके साथ पनीर डाल दीजिए. आप पनीर के साथ वो आपने वो वाली डिप बना ली, एंड मेक इट इन अ वे दैट इट बिकम्स अ लिटिल थिक. जब आप उसको पास्ता में डालोगे, इट रियली बिकम्स वेरी नाइस, एंड द चाइल्ड विल थिंक दैट इट इज चीज. सो इमेजिन
And
सारे
also
मिल्क के
red
जो, हाँ,
sauce.
और या, एंड उसको आप थोड़ा सा, जस्ट टू मेक इट अ लिटिल थिन, यू कीप एडिंग लिटिल मिल्क इन इट.
Correct. That's so helpful, guys. आपने इतने
आइडियली
अच्छे
मोर
अच्छे
ऑफ मे
tips
बी,
बताए आज.
या तो आइडली मोर ऑफ एन ओट मिल्क जो आप उसी टाइम में बना सकते हो. बस ओट मिल्क को आप ज्यादा मत
Mhm.
मिक्सी में वो करना, गरम लेके बस 1 or 2, एंड देन व्हेन यू स्ट्रेन इट, देयर इज गुड कोकोनट मिल्क आल्सो यू कैन गिव द चाइल्ड. आई मीन
Yeah.
कोकोनट का छाछ आप दे सकते हो बच्चे को, एंड मिल्क
Okay.
शेक्स
Okay.
बना के दे सकते हो. मिल्क शेक्स इज
Mm.
लाइक, you can have smoothies in it, and instead of adding sugar, the thing is, best thing is avoid adding sugar most of the time, because the kids get addicted to sugar. So I would
Correct,
really,
correct,
and a lot of grown kids, उनके दांत भी निकल रहे होते हैं. So it is very
correct.
important to save the kids from cavities. And anyways, एक टाइम के बाद बच्चा आपका सुनने नहीं वाला है टीनेज में,
Correct,
तो वो वैसे ही
correct.
छोड़ दीजिए. They will like really, no, I mean they will really go, yeah, keep eating what they want to. लेकिन जब तक वो grow हो रहे हैं, you have to see that, that because when you inculcate these things, the child will
Correct.
surely understand about
Yeah,
eating right. Even in
correct,
teenage, the bachcha will
mm,
know that soft drink is not good for me and will not touch the soft drink. So it's
correct,
very
correct,
important. And जब आप इन चीजों से बच्चे का पेट भरते हो ना, तो उसको इतनी भूख भी नहीं लगेगी कि मैं कुछ भी कचड़ा खा लूं, जंक खा लूं.
correct, correct, correct. That's very rightly said. वो हमें शुरुआत से ही हेल्दी डाइट इंकलकेट करेंगे तभी
Yes,
बच्चे शुगर अवॉइड करेंगे. Um,
absolutely.
correct. One Sushmita was asking what healthy snacks can be offered to picky eaters or fussy kids.
Yeah, so we have to understand picky eaters. I mean, I lots of good wishes to the mom, जिनके kids picky eaters है, because इसमें बहुत बहुत आपको you need a lot of patience. So you have, as I said earlier, if the child is not eating, please don't misunderstand that the child doesn't want to eat. The problem is that for the child it becomes very monotonous. So it's important to make certain things that is very innovative and that looks nice, and that is, so maybe a certain thing you can take the skewer, वो जो बड़ा सा toothpick जैसा the skewer आता है, you take the blocks of पनीर जो cubes में होते हैं, उनको आप सौते कर लो. चेरी टोमेटो आप थोड़ा आधा आधा करके उसको सौते कर लो, एंड चीज का क्यूब आप सौते कर लो, और पाइनएप्पल का साथ में आप उसको सौते
Oh,
करने की जरूरत
nice.
नहीं है, पर उसका आप ब्लॉक काट सकते हो. Then it becomes a nice cure. You don't even have to, और and उसको जब रखोगे आप, the child will want to eat. एंड ये एक हो गया. सेकेंड थिंग इज, हाउ कैन यू मेक इट. जैसे आपने कुछ भी बनाया, फॉर एन एग्जाम्पल आपने
Mm,
चलिए पराठा ही बनाया, तो देर आर एट, व्हाट वर्क्स. आपने जैसे पराठा बनाया, आपने पराठे के अंदर बीटरूट डाल दिया, बीटरूट की
yeah,
ग्रेट करके डाल दिया, या बीटरूट को पीस के डाल दिया अच्छे से उसमें नमक वमक करके, एंड नाइसली द वे चाइल्ड वांट्स इट. आपने जब पराठा बना दिया, मेक दैट सर्कल इनटू, दीज आर द हैक्स आई एम गिविंग यू. मेक दैट सर्कल इनटू, उसमें आंख की शेप में उसको काट दीजिए, स्माइली
yeah,
की शेप में उसको काट दीजिए. द चाइल्ड विल लुक फॉरवर्ड टू ईट दैट. And
correct.
make it a journey with the child. For an example, try to associate certain things. It's a lot psychologically also. Try to
Yeah,
associate with the child that, when you will have rosy lips, only when you're going to eat, वो जो हमारी poem है,
correct. Those,
chubby cheeks,
correct.
when you're going to have an apple, see, you're getting chubby cheeks, you're going to have
Mm,
rosy lips. More than associating good looks with maybe, the way we associate, for them
external
it's
things.
very important to associate good looks with, but if you eat
Correct.
this, going to look so nice, you're going to be so smart, you're going to be so amazing. So ऐसे ऐसे we need to be very creative about food and
Yeah,
present it to them.
that's very well spoken. Correct, correct.
And
Uh,
sorry, another two more things. Let the kids be involved. जैसे आप उस
mm,
the kid को market लेके गए. Maybe it is a farmer's market, or you take them to the market and ask, what do
yeah.
you want? What do you want to eat? Pick that up. Pick this up. And the
Mm,
child is looking forward to it. And take the child. Let the child be included. You want to cook this? Okay, let's cook this. And that eating time, let it be very nice. And always understand with kids, what you are eating, they will want to eat that. If
yeah,
आपने, sometimes होता है, mothers तो नहीं बोलेंगी usually, because they are only taking all the pain to make and present it to them. So, but sometimes होता है, at times the
yeah,
fathers will say मुझे ये नहीं अच्छा लगता. Immediately the kid will emulate. So you have to
yeah,
understand, each of the parent has to understand कि चाहे हमें नहीं अच्छा लग रहा है, but we have to say it's very nice because it's very good for my health. That's why we eating. So even you have to eat. So that's the way you have to balance it out. Otherwise, कोई बच्चा एक्चुअल में सीखता नहीं है कि मुझे नहीं खाना है. हर बच्चे कोई, no kid is born with thinking I will not eat. It's
correct,
about
correct.
making khana fun and making it creative. Even for us now, even we say ना आज बोर हो गया है, let's not eat this, आज कुछ और खाते हैं. So it's same thing is for kids.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We have, I think, most of the questions we have answered. We have one last question. How much water should kids drink daily, and how can hydration be encouraged?
Um,
How
Hydration
much
should
water?
be.
Encouraged. Okay. Okay,
How can
I got it. Thank you.
uh,
Yeah, thank you so much. So, water, you are again, if kids are falling under adolescence,
hmm,
and if kids are into growing age, that is preschool, water intake is going to be different. And
okay,
if kids are into their adolescence from 12 to 13 years onwards, then their water intake is going to be different. Because so one thing you have to understand for kids is just that जो लोग preschoolers हैं, if they're even having a liter of water, it
hmm,
is fine.
hmm,
जब उनको
yeah,
भूख लग रही, you have to just understand क्योंकि आप उनको they're very small and even their kidney, because the kidney has to balance out water. So you have to
correct.
just see that the child is hydrated, stays hydrated in terms of because just that water will not be counted. Even जैसे बच्चे ने छाछ पी, बच्चे ने thankfully the kid is for an example instill you have to instill good hydration in them in terms of giving them juice, giving them a juice be it's not that it needs to be homemade juice. And as आपके जो buttermilks हो गए, आपके smoothies हो गए, आपके
Hmm,
even
hmm,
milk will also come as hydrating them. So these are the
correct.
factors you have to remember, but don't keep loading them up with water. तो ये हो गए 6 साल के छोटे बच्चे, जब उनको भूख लगी खाना खा लिया उसके आधे घंटे के बाद आप उनको पानी दे दीजिए एक ग्लास, या बेस्ट इज इफ दे कीप सिपिंग वाटर, दैट इज अ वेरी गुड थिंग. एंड जो
Yeah,
एडोलसेंट बच्चे हैं दे हैव टू हैव एनीवेयर फ्रॉम 1.5 to 2 liters of water every day.
yeah.
And anywhere from and another thing you have to understand, it's a very simple thing to see clinically. If your kid is having if your kid's urine is really yellow, that means the
Hmm,
kid needs to have little more water and
hmm,
stay
hmm.
hydrated.
Okay.
If the kid's urine is fine, just little pale, that's okay.
Okay, okay. That's actually helpful. That's actually helpful. We have one more last question. It's from a mom of under 2 years old child. कि उनकी बेटी अभी she only eats curd and rice, or like only is eating curd. So what are the different things that she can do, because she's under 2 years old. She's maybe 1.5 years old. तो क्या करे ताकि न्यूट्रिशन दे सके?
Yeah, so she's only eating curds now. Now she's more than I think she must have been weaned off the mom's milk.
Hmm.
So it is very important. Let her introduce khichdi. Let her introduce ragi porridge. Let her introduce. So these are ragi porridge. She can always go into Google and see what is ragi porridge. कैसे बनता है रागी को गरम करके उसमें मिल्क
Hmm.
लगा के आप कर सकते हो. शाम के टाइम में you have to have one fruit time जहाँ पे आप एप्पल को स्ट्यू करते हो, एप्पल को स्ट्यू करके ढक के डबल बॉईल करके, and then you just give the child stew apple. And definitely don't add any sugar in any of the things, just add ghee over it. दलिया दे सकते हो आप बहुत हल्का सा जिसमें मटर वटर हो, वेजिटेबल स्ट्यू, पालक पालक के एक्चुअली आप 2 साल का अगर बच्ची हो गई है, you can slowly start introducing all the foods that you can. Only thing is understand that it should not be कि गले में ना अटके.
गले
धीरे
में
धीरे
अटके.
आप मैश करके दीजिए, बनाना दे सकते
Hmm.
हो. यू कैन गिव द चाइल्ड एनी फ्रूट दैट यू वांट. हाउएवर avoid sugary foods, avoid juices, avoid, so give them whole fruits. That's the best thing that you can do. Slowly when they start, जब उनके और जब खाना
Hmm.
शुरू कर देंगे, they will get into the habit of also eating. So khichdi you can start, you can आराम से start with all the foods, with ragi this thing. You can also start with दाल चावल भी होता है, आप उसको मिक्स कर दो, उसमें सब्जी मिक्स कर दो. You can just do everything, just mash it a little, maybe बच्चे का खाने को. And always understand शुरू से ही आप थोड़ी सी you can put little green chili, that's okay.
Okay.
From beginning just don't do everything
So
because the
other than
child gets
that.
used to it. Yeah, हल्की सी green chili,
So
not
the
लाल मिर्च. Yeah, pepper.
okay. So the problem that she's saying is that she did give all of these food, but now the kid is only eating curd rice now this phase. So how can she take care of the nutrition fact? because the curd is the child
So
is only eating curd rice, nothing else. पहले खिचड़ी रागी सब खाता था, अभी कुछ नहीं खा रहे.
तो होता है कभी कभी ऐसे हो जाता है देन यू नो अगेन अब इट्स अ होल प्रोसेस मे बी बच्चे का दिमाग कहीं लगा के यू विल हैव टू अगेन लाइक दोस यू नो मे बी फिंगर फूड्स जैसे आपने
Hmm.
पनीर को वो कुछ कर दिया किसी गेम के साथ आप खिला रहे हो जहाँ पे बच्चा because the bacha will be playful so make that eating time very that happens sometimes a bacha is eating continuously and properly for like good 1.5 years 1 year suddenly ek saal suddenly after 2 3 months the bacha suddenly stops eating certain things which
Yeah.
is you know if the child is having curd rice it's very nice it's very good आप उसमें धीरे धीरे कभी कभी जैसे आपने किसी चीज का फॉर एन एग्जांपल जीरे का या घी का जो आप तड़का लगा रहे
Hmm.
हो यू प्लीज कीप पुटिंग दैट now slowly maybe the child as she's saying the child was eating before again slowly introduce those foods maybe try to
Hmm.
understand what is it that the child is not liking in it make that particular time for the child to eat
Yeah.
a little as I discussed these few hacks before where you know the mother or the parents can actually make it very playful can make it
Yeah.
as a game oh you did this you were so nice so I'm going to get one spoon you are also going to get one spoon ऐसे यार कुछ games आपको cultivate करने पड़ेंगे make it color therapy that this gives you this color and this
Yeah.
gives you this color as जैसे मैंने आपको वो skewers भी बोले if 2 years का बच्चा है can have that पनीर also थोड़ा थोड़ा तो जो दिखने में ज्यादा वो लगे एंड आप उसको इवन यू कैन इवन यू नो जब अगर पराठा भी थोड़ा खाने लग गया है या if the child has started to eat if she has started to eat then make it a little mulayam I mean when you make it you can even mix it with little dal आप थोड़ा सा पालक पालक आटे में मिक्स कर दो
Yeah.
एंड
That's
सो
a
देयर
good
विल बी
idea.
डिफरेंट ऑप्शंस चीला हो गया चीला सॉफ्ट हो जाता है डोसा सॉफ्ट हो जाता है आप ऐसी कोशिश कीजिए एंड मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंटली उस टाइम को आप बहुत ही फ्रेंडली बनाइए सो दैट द चाइल्ड स्टार्ट्स एसोसिएटिंग विद इट
That's
एंड
great.
यू कैन
That's
इवन गिव उबला हुआ आलू ऑल्सो आप प्लीज
okay.
गिव द चाइल्ड उबला हुआ आलू हल्का सा उसमें घी डाल के उसका थोड़ा वो टेस्ट बदल के प्लीज गिव द चाइल्ड उबला हुआ आलू गिव द चाइल्ड स्वीट पोटैटो
Yeah.
यू नो सो
Yeah.
इंट्रोड्यूस दीज थिंग्स एंड अंडरस्टैंड कि आपने 3 दिन ये इंट्रोड्यूस किया उसके बाद चाइल्ड इज नॉट ईटिंग देन इंट्रोड्यूस अनदर थिंग बट देन अगेन कम बैक टू द सेम थिंग
Yeah. That's very correct. Yes. Yes.
या इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट या
वेरी नाइस. आई थिंक आपने बहुत अच्छे से हम सबके क्वेश्चंस आंसर किए. सुष्मिता, यू आल्सो हैड दिस सिमिलर क्वेश्चन. आई होप दैट्स आल्सो आंसर्ड. We it was a great session. Not only you shared very interesting recipes with us, but इतने डिटेल में आपने हम सबके क्वेश्चंस आंसर किए. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर दिस.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure, and from the Slurp team also, and from the
In
Activate
activity.
team, thank you so much. And it's just one thing you have to remember that food needs to be associated, you know, with. It's not a rocket science की healthy हो तो हम डर जाएं. आप छोटी सी
Hmm.
छोटी चीज को भी ना, you can just make it. You can just think कि ये चीज करने से मैं ये ऐड कर दूं तो इसकी इसकी ये न्यूट्रिएंट डेंस हो जाता है सो दैट्स इट
Great.
दैट्स द ओनली थिंग एंड बच्चों के साथ वी जस्ट हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड इट्स वन स्टेप एट अ टाइम एंड फॉर श्योर इट्स गोइंग टू बी अ ग्रेट जर्नी विद फूड विद किड्स थैंक यू सो मच
I think as a mother myself, I felt lot of the tips that you said were very practical and helpful, and many things we did not know before. मतलब कई बार हम Instagram या Facebook में बहुत सारा कुछ देख लेते हैं, but ये आज जो भी चीजें सीखा, I think for it was new for most of us. So thank you so much for taking out your
आई एम
time.
सो ग्लैड
And
नित्या थैंक्स अ लॉट
thank you everyone for joining. Have a great weekend and happy Ganesh Chaturthi to all of you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Sargam.
थैंक
Thank
यू
you. Bye.
थैंक यू